The Fairchild Swearingen Metroliner or the Fairchild Aerospace Metro is a 19-seat, pressurized, twin-turboprop airliner first produced by Swearingen Aircraft and later by Fairchild at a plant in San Antonio, Texas, United States. Design and development: the Metroliner was an evolution of the Swearingen Merlin turboprop-powered business aircraft. Ed Swearingen, a Texas fixed-base operator, started the developments that led to the Metro through gradual modifications to the Beechcraft Twin Bonanza and Queen Air business aircraft which he dubbed Excalibur. A new fuselage and vertical fin were then developed, married to salvaged and rebuilt Queen Air wings and horizontal tails, and Twin Bonanza landing gear. This became the SA-26 Merlin, more or less a pressurized Excalibur. Through successive models the engines were changed to Pratt & Whitney Canada .6, then Garrett TPE 331 turboprops. These were marketed as business aircraft seating 8 to 10 passengers. An all-new aircraft was built and named the SA-226T Merlin III with a new nose, wings, landing gear, cruciform horizontal tail and inverted inlet Garrett engines. Ultimately a stretch of the Merlin III was designed, sized to seat 22 passengers and called the SA-226TC Metro. Because FAA regulations limited an airliner to no more than 19 seats if no flight attendant was to be carried, the aircraft was optimized for that number of passengers. The standard engines offered were two TPE 331-3 UW turboprops driving three-bladed propellers. A corporate version called the SA-226AT Merlin IVA was also marketed and initially sales of this version were roughly double that of the Metro. Prototype construction of the Metro began in 1968 and the first flight was on August 26, 1969. Swearingen Aircraft encountered financial difficulties at this stage, and late in 1971 Fairchild bought 90% of Swearingen and the company was renamed Swearingen Aviation Corporation. It was at this point that the previously cash-strapped company was able to put the Metro into production. In 1974, the original Metro models were replaced by the SA-226TC Metro II after about 20 Metros and about 30 Merlin IVAs had been built. Among the changes made were larger, squared-over windows and optional provision for a small rocket-assisted takeoff rocket in the tail cone, this being offered to improve takeoff performance out of hot and high airfields in the event of an engine failure. The Metro and Metro II were limited to a maximum weight of 12,500 pounds in the USA and countries using imperial units, and 5,700 kilograms in countries using SI units. When this restriction was lifted, the Metro II was recertified as the Metro IIA in 1980 with a maximum weight of 13,100 pounds and the Metro II's TPE 331-3 engines replaced by -10 engines of increased power. The SA-227AC Metro III followed, also initially certified in 1980 for up to 14,000 pounds, this increasing to 14,500 pounds as engines and structures were upgraded. An option to go as high as 16,000 pounds was offered. Externally, improvements incorporated into the Metro III were a 10-feet increase in wingspan, 4-bladed props, redesigned quick-access engine cowlings and numerous drag-reducing airframe modifications, including landing gear doors that closed after the gear was extended. Once again a corporate version was offered as the Merlin IVC. A version with strengthened floors and a high gross weight option was offered as a cargo aircraft known as the Expediter. Both the Expediter and the Merlin IVC were designated the SA-227AT. Finally, due to reliability problems with Garrett engines in the second half of the 1980s, the Metro AIIA was offered with two Pratt & Whitney Canada .6A45 turboprops in place of the Garrett units. However, none were actually delivered. A special model was the SA-227BC Metro III built for Mexican airline Aeroliteral, which took delivery of 15 of the 18 of this model that were produced. Improvements beyond the Metro III provided better systems, more power and a further increase in takeoff weight. This design effort resulted in the SA-227cc and SA-227DC models, initially called the Metro IV then renamed Metro 23, so named as they were designed for certification under FAA Part 23 standards. A Metro 23EF with an external pod under the lower fuselage for greater baggage capacity was also offered, as well as an Expediter 23 and Merlin 23. The SA227cc was an interim model with TPE 331-11U engines and only a handful were built. Further development. In the 1960s, Swearingen Aircraft developed a prototype SA-28T 8-seat jet aircraft with a flapless delta wing. It shared the tail and cockpit with the Merlin Metro. The two engines were to be Garrett TFE 731 turbofans then in development. They were originally to be mounted on the aft fuselage, however during the course of design work their location was moved to under the high-mounted wing. Early flights were to be undertaken with General Electric's CJ610 engines fitted. Development continued after Fairchild acquired the company, but the project was shut down 9 weeks from first flight. It was later cut up as scrap and the fuselage used as a Metro display at trade shows. At the 1987 Paris Air Show, Fairchild released details of proposed developments of the Metro designated the Metro V and Metro 6. These versions would have featured a longer fuselage with a taller stand-up cabin providing 69 in of interior height for passengers. A redesigned, longer wing. Engines moved further out on the wing from the fuselage. A T-tail, and various system improvements. A Merlin V corporate version of the Metro V was also planned. The Metro V was to be fitted with the same engines as the Metro 23 and the Metro 6 was to be fitted with more powerful TPE 331-14 engines. The Metro 6 was shelved within months of being announced due to a lack of customer interest, but Fairchild did not proceed with the Metro V either. One version that did see the light of day was the Metro 25, which featured an increased passenger capacity of 25 at the expense of the baggage space found in earlier models. The deletion of the left rear cargo door, the addition of a passenger door on the right-hand rear fuselage, and a belly pod for baggage. A Metro 3 was converted as a Metro 25 demonstrator. It flew in this configuration in October 1989. Also mooted but not built was the Metro 25J, which would have been another jet-powered aircraft with TFE 731s in overwing pods. The type certificates for Metro and Merlin aircraft are currently held by M7 Aerospace. Operational history. 2 of the original Metro model were delivered in 1972 to Société Minière de Bakwanga in Kinshasa, Zaire, the first customer to put the Metro into service. The first airline to put them into service was Commuter Airlines in January 1973, followed shortly after by Air Wisconsin. At least one Metro IIA flies in Canada with Perimeter Aviation. 2 SA227cc's are today registered with Canadian operator Bearskin Lake Air Service Limited, while another 2 are operating in New Zealand. A 5th also flew with Bearskin Airlines but was destroyed in a mid-air collision in 1995. In service with Perimeter Aviation in Canada, this long-term operator of the Metro 2 made a number of modifications to suit its use in northern and remote Canadian sites where rudimentary gravel strips were common. Some of the many innovative changes to the design of the Metro allowed the aircraft to fly more efficiently as well as cutting down on the noise factor that was attributed to the early models. The airline installed Garrett engines with quieter and more efficient four-bladed Hartzell propellers. Their Metros are also all equipped with modern avionics suites including certified Allied Signal KLN90B GPS. Many of the improvements resulting in the Metro 23 came about during work to produce the military C-26B model for the United States Air Force. A Metro 3 aircraft was modified for the Colombian Air Force for counter-narcotics reconnaissance purposes. The Colombian National Police also operates several Metro 23 aircraft for counter-narcotics reconnaissance purposes. In addition, the Peruvian Air Force operates a Metro 23 and the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard operates a Metro 3, both similarly configured. A regional security system Metro 3 with a large belly radome has been seen in the Caribbean. In civilian service the type has proved to be popular, with sales in the 19-seat airliner market rivaled only by the Beechcraft 1900. It is especially popular in Australia. Since the first example arrived in 1975, almost 20% of the fleet has operated in that country. As of December 2008, 61 Metros and Expeditors are registered in Australia, more than all of its market rivals combined. Metro production ended in 1998, however by this time regional jets were in vogue and turboprop types were out of favour with airlines, and several airframes remained unsold at the factory. The final aircraft, Metro 23CNDC-904B, was not delivered until 2001. A total of 703 Metro, Expeditor, Merlin 4 Series and C-26 series aircraft were built. In addition, 158 other SA-226 and SA-227 series aircraft were built as short fuselage Merlin IIIs, IIIAs and IIIBs. Variants SA-226 series 198 SA-226TC Metro and Metro 2, 56 SA-226AT Merlin IVA. SA-227 series 291 Metro 3, 273 SA-227AC, 18 SA-227BC. 43 SA-227AT, 21 Merlin IVC, 22 Expeditor. 115 Metro 23, 5 SA-227CC, 110 SA-227DC. Military Fairchild C-26 Metroliner, C-26A, C-26B and RC-26B versions for the U.S. military. TP-88, Metro 3 delivered to the Swedish Air Force for use as a VIP transports. The first was delivered in 1984, and this was replaced by the second in 1986 and remained in use until 1993. A third dubbed TP-88C, was acquired in 1987 and was used for ARIA FS-890AW trials. Operators Current civil operators As of July 2012 a total of 342 Fairchild Metro Merlin aircraft remained in airline service. By July 2013, this number had dropped to 253, and by July 2014 was down to 245. Major operators include Australia, Sharp Airlines, Toll Aviation. Bolivia, Aerocon. Canada, Bearskin Airlines, Perimeter Aviation, Carson Air. Germany, Binair. Mexico, Aeronaves TSM. Spain, Aeronova. United States, Ameriflight, Berry Aviation, Encore Air Cargo, Key Lime Air. Almost 30 other airlines also operate smaller numbers of the type. Former Australian passenger airline operators Regional Express. Former US and Canadian passenger airline operators US operators. A considerable number of commuter and regional air carriers previously operated Metro, Metro 2, Metro 3 and or Metro 4 Metro 23 aircraft primarily in scheduled passenger service in the US and Canada. According to the official airline guide, these airlines included Air LA, Air Midwest, Air Oregon, Air Vantage Airlines, Air Virginia, Air Wisconsin, Allegheny Commuter, American Eagle, Atlantic Express, Atlantis Airlines, Austin Express, Big Sky Airlines, Bright Airways, Cascade Airways, Cochise Airlines, Comair, Commuter Airlines, Conquest Airlines, Continental Connection, Delta Connection, Empire Airlines, acquired by Piedmont Airlines, Empire Airlines, Freedom Airlines, Gem State Airlines, Golden Gate Airlines, Horizon Air, Imperial Airlines, Inland Empire Airlines, Landmark Aviation Air Cargo, Lone Star Airlines, Mesa Airlines, Mesab Airlines, Mid-Continent Airlines, Midstate Airlines, Midway Connection, Mississippi Valley Airlines, Northwest Airlink, Pacific Cow Air, Peninsula Airlines. Pioneer Airlines, Resort Air, Rio Airways, Scenic Airlines, Scheduled Skyways, SkyWest Airlines, Sierra West Airlines, Sun Airlines, Tejas Airlines, Trans-Central Airlines, Trans-Colorado Airlines, Transwestern Airlines, Trans World Express, Western Express, Wings West Airlines. Other small air carriers operated Metroliners as well. In addition, Southern Airways, a local service airline that primarily operated McDonnell Douglas DC-9 jetliners before it merged with North Central Airlines to form Republic Airlines, operated the Metro II as a replacement aircraft type for its retired Martin 4-0-4 prop aircraft. Canadian operators, in addition to current operators Bearskin Airlines and Perimeter Aviation, previous Metro operators in Canada included Air Montreal, Air Toronto, Alta Flights, Canadian Western Airlines, Inter-Canadian, Provincial Airlines, Quebecair, Skilink Airlines, SunWest Aviation. Military operators Columbia, Colombian Air Force, WANA, Metro 23, Mexico, Mexican Air Force, FORA, Metroliner 3, Peru, Peruvian Air Force, 3, Metro 23, Trinidad and Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago Air Guard, 2, Metro 23, Venezuela, Venezuelan Air Force, 2. Former military operators Argentina, Argentine Air Force, Australia. South Africa, South African Air Force, No. 21 Squadron SAAF. Sweden, Swedish Air Force, 2X Metro 3 and 1X Metro Merlin IVC, Thailand, Royal Thai Air Force. Accidents and incidents. On June 12, 1980, a Metro II operating as Air Wisconsin Flight 965 suffered engine failure following massive water ingestion during a thunderstorm. The crew lost control and crashed near Valley, Nebraska. Both crew members and 11 passengers died. 2 passengers survived with serious injuries. On January 15, 1987, a Metro II operating as Skyust Airlines Flight 1834 collided with a single-engine Mooney M20 near Kearns, Utah. All 8 people on the Metro II were killed in the accident. On January 19, 1988, a Fairchild Metro III operating as Trans-Colorado Airlines Flight 2286 under the Continental Express brand, crashed near Bayfield, Colorado. Both crew members and 7 of the 15 passengers died. Of the surviving passengers, only 1 was uninjured. On February 8, 1988, a Metro III operating as Na-1-Quarterumberger Flugdienst Flight 108 suffered a lightning strike, following which the electrical system failed. The right wing separated from the aircraft during an uncontrolled descent and the aircraft disintegrated and crashed near Kettwig, Germany. Both crew members and all 19 passengers died. On February 19, 1988, a Fairchild Metro operating as Air Flight 3378 crashed 1 mile from the runway after takeoff from Raleigh-Durham International Airport, North Carolina. Pilot error was found to be the cause. On September 26, 1989, Skilink Airlines Flight 070, a Fairchild Metro 3 was on a scheduled flight from Vancouver, YVR, to Terrace, British Columbia with 2 pilots and 5 passengers on board. The aircraft crashed 1/4 mile to the west of Terrace Airport while the crew was attempting to carry out a missed approach in IFR conditions. The aircraft was destroyed by the impact and a post-crash fire. All 7 occupants were fatally injured in the crash. On February 1, 1991, SkyWest Airlines Flight 5569, operated with a Metro 3, was waiting on a runway when USAIR Flight 1493 collided with it, resulting in the death of the 10 passengers and 2 crew members on board the Metro. On May 1, 1995, a Metro 23 operating as Bearskin Airlines Flight 362 collided at 4,500 feet above sea level with an Air Sandy Piper PA-31 Navajo while on approach to Sioux Lookout Airport, destroying both aircraft and killing all persons on both aircraft. On September 16, 1995, a Tamair Metro 3, VHNEJ, crashed shortly after takeoff from Tamworth, NSW, Australia, killing all 3 on board. The crash occurred following a V-1 cut at night and raised many questions regarding the safety of asymmetric training operations at night. On June 18, 1998, Prepare Flight 420, a Metro 2 flying from Dorval International Airport to Peterborough Airport in Peterborough, Ontario, experienced a wing engine fire during the initial climb. It attempted an emergency landing at Mirabel, but crashed near the runway threshold, in part due to a landing gear failure. The 2 pilots and the 9 passengers on board were killed. On May 3, 2005, a Metro 3 operating a cargo flight as Airwork Flight 23 broke up in mid-air and crashed near Stratford, New Zealand. Both crew members died. On May 7, 2005, a Transair Metro 23 crashed near Lockhart River, north of Cooktown, Queensland in Australia. A total of 15 people died in what is, as of December 2009, the worst airline crash in Australia since the 1960s. On February 10, 2011, Manx 2 Flight 7100, a Metro 3 owned by the Spanish airline Airliner operating on behalf of Manx 2, was on a flight from Belfast, Northern Ireland to Cork, Ireland. The aircraft crashed on landing in fog, resulting in the death of 6 people. On September 6, 2011, Aerocon Flight 238 from El Trompillo Airport, Santa Cruz de la Sierra, Bolivia to Teniente Jorge Enrique Ross Airport, Trinidad, Bolivia crashed on approach to Trinidad. The flight was operated by Swearingen SA-227 Metroliner Camp 2548. 8 of the 9 people on board were killed. On June 6, 2012, an SA-227C Metro en route from Montevideo Carrasco, MVD to Buenos Aires Ezeiza crashed into the Rio de la Plata close to the coast of Montevideo south of Flores Island. It was registered as CXLAS operating a freight flight on behalf of DHL. On November 3, 2013, a Metro 3, CP2477 Aerocon airliner crashed when it was trying to land at the airport in Riberalta Airport that killed 8 people. On November 10, 2013, a Metroliner operated by Bearskin Airlines under flight number JV311, crashed on final approach to its destination of Red Lake, Ontario, Canada en route from Sioux Lookout, Ontario. The aircraft experienced a near-total failure of the left engine at 500 feet AGL which, combined with the aircraft being in the landing configuration, caused a loss of airspeed resulting in an unrecoverable situation. Safety systems to assist in the handling with one engine out did not activate since the engine did not completely shut down. The scenario gave conflicting information to the pilots who did not have time to identify the nature of the failure. 2 crew members and 3 passengers were killed in the crash. 2 passengers sustained injuries but survived. On December 2, 2013, a Metroliner property of IBC Airways, flying from Las Armas Copyright Ricas International Airport, Dominican Republic, crashed in the municipality of Archibo, Puerto Rico. 2 people were killed in the accident. On April 13, 2015, a Carson Air SA-226 Metro 2 disappeared somewhere in the North Shore Mountains after taking off from Vancouver International Airport for Prince George Airport. Debris was found near the area where the aircraft was last tracked. On June 2, 2015, Aeronaves TSM Fairchild SA-226TC Metro 2, registration XAUKP crashed shortly after takeoff from Querétaro International Airport, Querétaro State, Mexico. Specifications. Data from the Encyclopedia of World Aircraft, General Characteristics, Crew, 2, 1 pilot and cargo only configuration, capacity, 19 passengers or a cargo volume of 143.5 FTA cubed, length, 59 feet 4 inches, wingspan, 57 feet 0 in, height, 16 feet 8 in, wing area, 310 FTA squared, empty weight, 8,737 pounds, max takeoff weight, 14,500 pounds or 16,000 pounds, depending on model. The 14,500 model may be modified to a max weight of 15,000 pounds, but the landing weight for that model remains at 14,000 pounds. Power plant, 2A, Garrett I Research TPE 331 turboprops with continuous alcohol water injection, 1,000 shp, 1,100 shp each, propellers, 4-bladed Macaulay 4HFR 34C652 or Doughty Rotella 3218, performance, maximum speed, 311 knots, cruise speed, 278 knots, range, 1,150 nanometers, service ceiling, 25,000 feet. See also, related development, Swearingen Merlin, Fairchild C-26 Metroliner, aircraft of comparable role, configuration and era, Beechcraft 1900, British Aerospace Jetstream, Embraer AN-110 Bandierranti, related lists, list of military aircraft of the United States. References. Notes citations bibliography External links, Virtual Museum, Fairchild, Fairchild Metro, Flight International 3 View drawing of Metro V.